Welcome back to another installment in my devlog series. A lot of changes have been made since the last devlog, so to get through it all I'm going to skip minor changes that don't really affect the game. So first of all, let's talk about why I'm changing the game. Beforehand, I didn't, and still don't really, know what it was supposed to be. It was an extremely basic RPG of sorts. I didn't have any storyline and pretty sure every system was broken somehow. With the new reboot, I have a much clearer idea of what the game will be. The storyline is still being formed, but I have a good idea of what I want it to be. The title has been changed as well. Geometry is a very vague and forgettable name that holds absolutely no description. It was only ever meant to be a placeholder for a name. And here we have it. The final name of the project is Thieves' Sky. I'll talk about the name's meaning later on. The theme has also taken a change. Instead of being plain fantasy, Thieves' Sky is based on 16th century fantasy. What I mean by this is that the game will contain a lot of stuff from the 16th century. To understand why, I must reveal the big change. The game is now sailing oriented. Mainly pirates, but there will be other factions for you to play as. Examples, merchants, and an empire faction of some sort. To split it apart from other sailing games, I'm keeping a few of Geometria's features, mainly the floating island generation. The reason I'm keeping this is that instead of just pirates, it's going to be sky pirates. I'm switching out water for a cloud layer, so the player will constantly be sailing on clouds. The cloud layer, at the moment, has a shader on it that displaces the vertices in a cloud-like appearance. The clouds are deformed by a script to give it a wave appearance. Now, because this wave algorithm is in a script and not a shader, I can make the ships/boats change along with the waves. At the moment, the boats go up and down with the waves and will face the right direction when going up and down the waves. This gives the effect of the boat rocking. The cloud layer is actually just a plane with a lot of vertices. This means to allow the player to sail for large distances, I had to make the plane move with the boat and account for the movement offset. It was actually quite easy to do once I knew what I was doing. I have also completed a large amount of the boat mechanics. This includes docking, sails, this needs work though, anchor, also needs work, and steering. I don't want to make the game completely sailing oriented, so I'm going to add content on the islands to make them interesting to explore. I'm working on village generation systems for them. At the moment I've got walkways for the first village type. I'm going to call them lake towns. They will generate half in the cloud sea and half on the land. I have almost finished its generation algorithm. I have now updated the art style. I am now fully committed to the cartoon effect, and I am applying it to everything. The cloud sea was quite hard to do. The cartoon effect just didn't want to work and I couldn't figure out why. So what I did was just dropped it and stuck with a posterize node. This gave me a nice cartoon effect. Now for the meaning behind the name. The thieves part obviously comes from Sea of Thieves. That's been a big inspirer for the game change. And the sky is from the game No Man's Sky, even though at first glance it doesn't seem like there is any similarities. There actually is. The way they generate. Both games use marching cubes and some form of pillar noise to generate terrain. Plus, the plan for the game is to make it infinite, just like No Man's Sky. Though to be fair, No Man's Sky isn't actually infinite in the way of content. If you go far enough, the content loops. You'll start seeing all the same planets. This is because Perlin noise eventually loops as well, no matter how many octaves you add. That's the end of the devlog. I do want to be more frequent with these devlogs, but I'm quite busy at the moment. I also want to start recording footage every day so I can show what I've been doing during the week. Hopefully the devlogs can also get longer as well. I would really appreciate people liking the video and subscribing. It tells me I'm doing something right. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments.